three gunas. So, Nibadhnanti Mahabaho, Mahabaho, you might be mighty armed and all, but you are also bound by this Prakriti. Nibadhnanti, these three gunas, they bind the Purusha. See, Purusha is the seer, Purusha is the witness, Purusha is one who is conscious of, Purusha is that I am awareness, Purusha is that I am feeling and knowledge. That I am Purusha, when he keeps looking at the body, suddenly gets this misunderstanding that I am the body. That separation is not seen, is not recognized, is felt that I am the body. It's like we keep looking at some movie or we totally identify with the characters and we feel that I am that character. Similarly, I am the witness, but after sometimes I get involved in that, what I am witnessing, and I totally identify with the Prakriti and become as though totally bound by that Prakriti. That is called bondage. Purusha prakristho hi bhungte prakriti jan gunan. In the previous chapter we have seen this Purusha attached to the Prakriti, seated in Prakriti, experiences the gunas of this Prakriti. So that is what we call as bondage. So Nibadhnanti Mahabaho Dehe Dehinam Avyayam. So in this body, this Dehi, this Purusha, this I am, which is Avyayam, which is immutable. Avyayam means immutable. This feeling, this knowledge of I am, pure awareness of I am is immutable. It doesn't have any beginning, it doesn't have any end. It is experienced with respect to the Prakriti, and but in its when we focus our attention only on this I am, the whole attention from that Prakriti also gets shifted and one gets established in one's own supreme being. So this Purusha as a witness afterwards becomes the knower, feeler, enjoyer and all, and gets bound to this Prakriti. So Nibadhnanti Mahabaho Dehe Dehinam Avyayam. So Sattva Guna also binds, Rajo Guna also binds, and Tamo Guna also binds. They are all three have the nature to bind. All of them, they bind this Purusha as though. So how exactly these three gunas bind? And that is now explained in the following verses. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakamanāmayam sukha sangena baddhati jnana sangena chanagha tatra sattvam nirmalatvat. Tatra, there, sattvam, the sattva guna binds this Purusha as though. What is the quality of sattva guna? Nirmal, nirmalatvat. It is nirmal, it is pure. Purity. Prakashakam, it is of the nature of light, means knowledge. And anamayam, free of all impurity, free of all defects. Nirmal, Prakashakam, and Anamayam. Nirmal means it is free of all this Rajogun. It is of the nature of Prakash, and it is free of Tamogun also. Sattva gun is pure. The tendency of Sattva gun, when only the pure Sattva gun is there, then that pure Sattva gun means when one cultivates only pure Sattva gun, then that helps us to transcend all these three gunas. But if the Sattva gun is impure, means there is also the Rajogun and Tamogun playing their role, then it gives good qualities to the person. The person has good qualities. But and how to purify by focusing our attention on that Purusha. By focusing our attention on Purusha, the mind tends to become more and more sattvic. And when the mind becomes absolutely sattvic, then the person as though transcends these three gunas. It's like like some light is there, and yesterday, as I said, the film is there, and we see a movie. So when that dark screen is there in front, then the light is not seen. Light is not seen. And when some colored screen is there or semi-dark is there, then light is seen little bit. Some translucent object is there, that light is seen. And when the screen is totally clear and bright, then the light is seen clearly. Now very interesting, that when that clear screen is there, light is seen clearly. And even when the screen is not there, the light is seen clearly. So the light which is seen without the screen and the light which is seen when the screen is absolutely clear and crystal clear is almost similar. Right? So in our meditation, suppose this is Rajogun, Tamogun, we have to just move this Prakriti more and more towards Sattva gun. And when that Sattva gun comes, it becomes so clear that this Purusha comes to recognize itself. And when Purusha comes to recognize itself, one transcends both the Purusha and Prakriti and gets established in one's own being. So it's very interesting. Bhagavan has revealed this whole thing. So tatra sattvam, when sattva gun is there, sattva is nirmal prakashakam, pure, light. Prakash, generally in our scripture, prakash doesn't mean this light, but light of light of knowledge, wisdom. Light of wisdom, light of knowledge. And nirmal is freedom from all mala. Mala is generally rajogun and tamogun. And anamayam, free from disease or free from other impurities, like again tamasic and rajasic. So that is the nature of sattva gun, absolutely pure, free from the impurities of rajogun and tamogun. That is the pure sattva. And when the mind is in pure sattva gun, how do you know? You experience happiness. There is an experience of happiness. And also there is experience of knowledge. It's very interesting. When the mind becomes sattvic, one just understands a lot of things. Intuition. Just knows. Pure person knows everything. Little child, innocent, pure, just knows. If you want to learn, you should go to a little child, not grown-up child. They don't know. Very child in the cradle and all, we can learn the whole Vedanta actually. We might not understand the language of the child. That is the only problem. Otherwise, everything is good. Language is not understood. Because the child is in purity, sattva gun. Like Gautam Buddha sitting in deep meditation, his body is sattvic At that moment, his mind is sattvic, his intellect is sattvic. So there is great experience for himself, great experience of peace and joy. And when we sit close to such a realized master, our mind also start vibrating at his frequency only, little bit. Our intellect, our this, so we also feel very calm and peaceful. People used to go to Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi and sit there, just sitting there, they used to feel very peaceful. He will be just sitting, doing nothing. But he is not lazy. Another very interesting thing is, pure Sattva Gun and pure Tamo Gun sometimes appears alike if we are not aware. Gautam Buddha sitting in meditation and lazy fellow sitting there, pareshan, depressed, might appear from a distance, do Gautam Buddha hai kya? But when you go near, you will find one is Gautam Buddha and another is Gautam Buddhu. So it might appear similar, but they are not same. They are totally different. So a realized master, for a Rajasic person, both appear same. A Rajasic person के लिए तामसिक व्यक्ति और सात्विक व्यक्ति दोनों he doesn't like. He doesn't like good person and he doesn't like lazy person also. Very strange this. Rajasic people are very strange people. What goodness, what God and what this and that, कुछ काम करो. So they don't like Gautam Buddha also and they don't like lazy person also. Strange people. Anyway, so this, so when the Sattva Gun arises, when the mind becomes predominantly sattvic, through meditation, through knowledge, through satsang, through prayer, through all our spiritual sadhanas are meant to make the mind more and more sattvic. You don't have to do anything. Just have to make it sattvic. Therefore, in the second chapter, Bhagavan told Arjuna that these Vedas are nothing but Trigunatmika only. Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha Nistragunyo Bhavarjuna. That all these Vedas and whatever they talk are all talking about three gunas only. The whole world is three gunas. Vedas talk about the world, that is also three gunas. But you go beyond these three gunas. Nistragunyo Bhavarjuna. Hey Arjuna, you go beyond these three gunas. But how should I go? Nirdvandvaha, Nityasattvastaha, Niryogakshema Atmavan. There he gives the plan of action to Arjuna that Nirdvandvaha, become free of this dvandva. Don't get affected by the pairs of opposites. Don't get affected. Because if you get affected, you will immediately go into Rajogun and Tamogun. When the world comes, some stimuli comes, if you react, based on how you react, you will encourage tamogun, those gunas. If you don't react, then you are in sattva gun. If you react with anger, if you react with a fight, then you are in rajogun. If you react with sadness, you go into tamogun. So don't get affected by the dvandvas. So nirdvandvaha nitya sattvasthaha. And another important thing Bhagavan says, you always get established in sattva. Try to remain more and more in sattva. Then it will take its own effect. It will do its job. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to bring a particular thought, this, that and all. You try to just maintain that sattva gun. Therefore, when we do japa or when we do puja, when that mind becomes sattvic, just sit there like that only. Don't have to do anything. Just maintain that sattvic environment of the heart. It will cure the impurity. It will purify the mind by itself. Don't have to do anything. Just we have to. Therefore, that being in the presence of a Mahatma or going to Tirtha Kshetra, we are just maintaining ourselves in that environment and it works on us. Like a doctor says that, oh, you should have a change in your this, you should go to some hill station or some place, it is good for your health. So you go there, the pure air and this and that itself cures the person. So, sattva gun, when it arises, one feels a great sense of peace and happiness. It is there within and it is experienced by everyone. Whoever becomes sattvic, whoever brings that sattva gun, or that when that sattva gun by chance also when it comes, that person experiences great peace and happiness. Even a bad person, if by chance, by the grace of God, by satsang, if that sattva gun comes, experience great feeling of joy and peace. Like again in the story of Gautam Buddha, I had told you the story of Angulimala. Angulimala was number one tamasic and rajasic person. He used to catch hold of people, loot them, kill them, cut their, fingers and make nice mala out of them. He was very fond of malas. So he used to make nice malas out of them. So much of anger, so much of restlessness in the mind. You can imagine such a person. Extremely restless, tamasic means no understanding, absolutely dull and confused. And energy is there and going into wrong direction. Such a horrible person, Angulimal. And compared to him, Gautam Buddha, who has gone beyond the three gunas, but his body, mind, intellect expressing Shuddha Sattva Guna. So he approaches this Angulimal, and just Gautam Buddha is present, Angulimal is present, and that Angulimal experiences great transformation in his own personality without doing anything. He says, I don't know what is happening to me. All these violent thoughts have gone. I am feeling great sense of peace and joy in my heart. And he realized it is all because of Gautam Buddha. He just prostrates and surrenders to him. And he becomes one of his great disciples also. So he didn't do any sadhana. He didn't do any japa, tapa and all. But he came in the presence of a powerful sattva gun, Shuddha Sattva, that helped him to become sattvic. So this whole play of these gunas. So when the sattva guna arises, there is experience of joy and also knowledge happens. And because knowledge is there in Purusha, not in Prakriti. Purusha has got all intelligence, all knowledge. So when one becomes more and more sattvic, one is more and more identified with the Purusha, and all understanding happens. The whole thing becomes clear. These great our Mahatmas, they didn't go to any school, colleges and all to learn. In Maharashtra, Nisargadatta Maharaj, he studied only, I think, 3rd or 4th standard. Never went ahead in life in that his studies, doing the job of just making bidis and all and selling them. He met his teacher, and the teacher told him that you are that Brahma, beyond all these gunas. Just focus your attention on I am. Just pay attention to that your own being. Just sit in that. Don't move from it. Just stay put on I am. And he did. And he says in 3 years, with lot of his only, with total faith in his teacher and dedication, and just